Good evening, everyone. It is 6:01 PM on Wednesday, June the 3rd, 2026. And I would like to begin the regular workshop of the Town of Lake City Board of Trustees. Our first item this evening is to discuss the 2025 audit with David Green. Name the witness.
Yes, hello. How are you guys?
Good. How are you, Mr. Green?
Great. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for having me. I sure appreciate that. And we're going to go through at a high level the audit of your financial statements. So I assume that you guys all have a copy of them in front of you. So let's go to the third page in, which is going to be the independent auditor's report. It's on the letterhead.
Mhm.
So this is the audit, not the audit. This is the part that you've engaged me to put on your financial statements. So it starts with the most important part here, which is opinion. We've audited the accompanying financial statements of the governmental activities, business type activities, and each major fund of the town of Lake City. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. So this is known as an unmodified opinion. You will also hear it referred to as a clean opinion. So it's definitely the one that the town was looking to receive. The basis for the opinion, we conducted our audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States. Responsibilities of management. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of these financial statements. So as mentioned, the opinion's mine, the rest of the financial statements are yours. The auditor's responsibility. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement. If we go to the next page, it talks a little bit more about how we go about doing that and performing an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. We exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism, identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, obtain an understanding of internal controls, evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies, and then determine whether or not the town can continue as a going concern. A little bit more about the audit process. So the first thing I do is I update my understanding of the organization. I look at what's changed year over year, whether that be different revenue streams, expenses, could be laws and regulations, changes in personnel. There's a whole variety of things that are considered. And so once I've gained an understanding of what's changed and updated those on the town, I then look at where there might be a risk of material misstatement to the financial statements. Once those risks are determined, then audit procedures are designed in order to specifically address those risks. So this is known as a risk-based audit approach. Um, One of the things I do is look at internal controls. I don't look at it for the purpose of expressing an opinion on them, but it is one of the things that I look at while doing this. As well as I try to work with a number of different people throughout the town. And so the main ones that I worked with were Lex and Christina, and both of them were very helpful. I think it's important to point out that the information that was requested from them came over timely and it came over in um, usable formats and in a format that was expected. So I really appreciate their assistance in doing that. It makes the audit go smoother, and it just helps everything get done timely. That's kind of a highlight of the audit process. Do you have any questions about anything like that?
Not so far.
Okay. A little bit more. There's some few things that we're required to go over with you. First thing is that the there are significant audit adjustments in the financials that we're going to go through. We're going to touch on these at a high level, the financial statements, since they are historical, but there are significant audit estimates is what I meant to say, not adjustments. I'm sorry about that. Accounting estimates. So the accounting estimates would be things like depreciation, where we estimate the useful life of assets. Another one, the estimates you would notice that's going to be in there is the para estimates. There's some things in there related to the pension that are actuarial estimates and stuff like that. I'm required to let you know whether or not there's any disagreements that I had with management throughout this. As mentioned, everybody was extremely helpful, and so I have no disagreements that I need to report to you guys. And as well as that, I'm required to remind you guys that I'm independent of the town. So if we go, we're going to jump ahead here. Uh, just past it's the basic financial statements. It's going to be page number one uh, when the numbering starts. So this is going to be the statement of net position. You guys just a second to jump there with me. Okay. So this is otherwise, if you were in the for-profit world, this would be a balance sheet. It's going to tell you what is owned by the district and by the town and what is owed by the town at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, you had total current assets of 7.2 million, almost 7.3. Out of that, 3,416,000 was cash and equivalents. The other 3.3 million is going to be the loan proceeds receivable. As you may or may not recall, those loan proceeds, due to the way the loan with the Colorado Water and Power is set up, is they have you book the full loan at the time the loan is signed. And then as you draw it, you reduce that receivable. So this has actually increased over the prior year since there was an additional $900,000 note that was signed during the year. And there is a deferred inflow of resources that's there to offset that as well too, or for the grants that offsets part of that as well too. Net capital assets, 9,364,000. So that's basically the infrastructure, equipment, all that stuff that you guys own. As mentioned, one of the estimates that we have is related to PARA, which is these deferred outflows of resources. Then we have current liabilities, 386,000, about half of which has to do with the current portion of the debt that you have due. A little bit of compensated absences, and the rest is going to be accounts payable. Um, Total long-term liabilities, 3.8 million. 3.5 of that is that debt, some of which is sitting up there as a receivable. And then as well as some of the para stuff for the OPEB and the pension liability. So at the end of the year, total net position, 11,446,000. Next page is going to show what came in and out for the district, where the money came in and out for the town. And so we've got total governmental activities, which had 1.2 million in expenses, and then that's basically the general fund. Total business type activities, which is your water and sewer fund, 766,000 of expenses. Um, Charges for service from the water and sewer, which is going to be the rates, 1,040,000. And then water and sewer also had 719,000 worth of grants and contributions. That's a water and power grant forgiveness. We then have general revenues. So your general revenues are going to be basically your taxes for the most part, a little bit of investment income and tap fees. Those totaled 1.1 million across the primary government. So at the end of the year, you had an increase of 210,000 in the general fund, and then an increase of 1,090,000 in the water and sewer fund, for a total increase of 1.3 million. Do we have any questions over the numbers or anything like that?
And then changing that position for the water and sewer fund's not cash. It's uh that's not cash necessarily. It's also what was capitalized from the wastewater treatment plant.
Yes, these statements are on a full accrual basis of accounting, so it does take into account you it does take into account depreciation of assets, but you wouldn't see in here like the payment of debt. So no, it is not a change in cash, it's just a change in net position.
Yeah. Thank
Um, so really from here it starts to be repetitive on the statements that go into place. I'll note that the the town was in compliance with the budget. You guys were under budget as far as that goes. This is also going to the rest of this is going to refer to the notes to the financial statement, which are going to be basically the accounting policies and procedures that went into place for the year. Nothing in that has changed. There was no new accounting pronouncements that went into play. That I need to call to your attention. So really everything in here is pretty straightforward. As mentioned, it's an unmodified opinion. Um, and I think that basically what you guys are seeing here is what you should hope to expect. So I know there's a lot to this, and a lot of this is para footnotes and all that other stuff. So I'm going to just turn this open since we hit this at a high level. I'll just turn this over to you guys. And if there's something you want to go into further, I'm happy to go through anything that you'd like to address.
I'll just cut to the chase. It looks like we're doing pretty good. Our staff's done a great job of budgeting and staying within budget. Your professional opinion, Mr. Green, how do we look compared to other towns?
That is a very loaded question because, as you know, based on your location and what you do, you're not really like other towns, right? But as far as from what I can tell, just from a numbers standpoint, without really knowing the complete age of your infrastructure and all that, it does appear that you guys have a plan to upgrade the things that you're working on upgrading right now, like your water treatment plant, and that you have a decent amount of cash sitting aside. Um, so it definitely didn't bring up any cause for alarm that I would say that we really needed to look at a going concern or something like that. That it looks like that you guys are um, doing what you need to be and where you probably should be.
Good news.
Yep, I'll take that as good news.
Yeah.
All right, any trustees have any other questions for Mr. Green? Lots to go over.
Yeah.
This is why we have a professional working for us. Lex, did you have anything else?
No, it turned out better than anticipated.
Work staff.
Were you worried?
Well, I mean,
I wasn't.
so well, on some of the net change in cash position, is some of that also from the transfers from the capital improvements fund when we dissolved it?
Well, that certainly did give you an inflow, a little bit of cash. I don't remember what it, let me just look real quick. So the answer is in the, where was it? It was, the answer is yes. I do believe that there was a positive amount that went into the water and sewer fund. Yeah, about 44,000 was transferred into the water and sewer fund, so that certainly helped a little bit. Um, Loan proceeds that were then used to purchase the capital assets helped as well. And then basically how you're treating that loan as some of it being grant for forgiveness, that certainly helped as well too. Uh, I think what I would call your attention to maybe help answer your question a little bit better is if you go to page number 2. So one of the key things about the reason that the way this statement of activities is set up is that we see up here on the top, it says program revenues. And the reason we have it broken out between program revenues and general revenues is to tell you how much it's self-financing. So in this case, on the water and sewer fund, you brought in water and sewer revenues of $1,040,000, and you had expenses of $766,000. So that meant that it brought in about 274,000, and that does include depreciation as well too. So what that tells me by looking at this is that the water and sewer fund is holding its own as well as being able to put a little bit away for future uses. And I think that's the question you were trying to get at. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, that puts my mind at ease. Thank you.
Some of that extra we brought in, those still covered. Loan, we still have to.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we still have our loan covenant that we have to put aside, so that meets all that too.
Okay.
And so I did evaluate the loan covenant as part of compliance, and it appears that you guys are in compliance with that.
That's all I have.
All right.
Okay, then there's nothing else. I'll work with Lex over the next couple days, week, whatever it is, get everything we need wrapped up, signed in the file, and then work on getting this finalized.
We're gonna get it on time.
Yep.
Thank you very much to the staff. for your hard work. Okay, I guess that's it, Mr. Green. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you. Hopefully you guys have a good night.
Good night, thank you.
Right, our next item is to discuss the 150, 250 celebration and Deep Sky Drum Group funding. I'll let you take it, Lex. Trustee Woods was discussing with me a little bit earlier, and apparently that there was a grant that was applied for, and they weren't able to get that. So I don't know where we stand on that. Lex, you have anything to say?
I mean, I could maybe pull a few $100s out of the BOT training budget. We did get a discount on 2 of the registrations for the CML conference to save us a little money. So, I mean, I think we can find at least a few $100.
Okay, can it be on the next agenda?
Week as an invoice. Put it on the next bills payable as an invoice of like $300.
Donation.
That would be wonderful.
Okay. We'll write that down. Donation.
Okay, well, I think it's a good part of our celebration. Do any trustees have a problem with that?
No.
No. And then also you'll have a list of the things we've been working on. And things that have been confirmed. There was a couple questions. What were they, Tina?
The 4-H club is wondering if they can do petting zoo and hay rides, and the hay rides would be a truck and trailer, and I talked to Rebecca Kaminsky about it. We emailed actually, and she suggested that the kids might want to make horses to put on the sides of the truck or something, and then do hay rides around town. Also, we were wondering, Trustee Winery, this would concern you maybe in a roundabout way, using the lot over here that's owned by your dad for like a petting zoo.
Yeah.
And then they're also wondering about pony rides and what would the liability be about around doing pony rides for
Yeah,
kids.
I mean, anything with the private property, I would imagine that, just thinking from his position, would be liability of, incidences or anything that would tell if, a petting zoo isn't crazy, but I can definitely talk with him and ask
Okay,
and get back with you guys with that.
okay.
Yeah, the pony rides, I mean, I think it'd be cool. It's just, I mean, to even get insurance for you to be able to ride horses or, do it where people can pay to ride horses is expensive.
Yeah, and it's also based on experience. It's like, if it's, to have an actual pony ride, it has to be a used horse, a consistently used pony ride horse. Which are hard to find. A lot of people say that they have horses that people can ride, and it's basis to basis. So I bet it wouldn't be anything that we'd be interested in for our horses, because it would be a lot.
Well, I mean, was Kaminsky going to provide the pony?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I
okay.
understood, yeah.
Yeah.
But the petting zoo sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, and she was saying rabbits and goats and horses and chickens and, yeah, she has a whole array of farms.
Get a buffalo.
Yeah.
I think a neat idea. I guess my one concern is town liability.
Yeah,
With it.
the pony rides kind of make me nervous.
Yeah, those chickens, they can be mean.
But not the petting zoo. I'm not really so much
Yeah,
worried about the petting zoo. If you get bit, I think it's your fault.
I mean, yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Roberts. There are some pretty strict Colorado regulations covering petting zoos because there's more danger than just being pecked by a chicken in specific diseases. And I'm not saying that any of the animals have diseases, but the liability is greater than
Yeah.
just
There's allergies.
Yeah.
There's, like in a cell barn, it's just saying they have allergy posters and stuff, and it goes on and on and on.
I just wanted to point that out.
Totally.
I'm-
Good point. I didn't even think of that.
hygiene gal over here, so.
So right now, look up state regulations for petting zoo and then contact SURSA too to see if they have an issue with it.
Plus, it's a volunteer situation. It's not for hire. I mean, it's not, yeah.
We're not paying for it. We're not providing the animal.
Right, right.
Yeah.
If it was on use on private property, and it was to do with the town.
Yeah, see, it's on private property
Right.
Yeah.
and we're not sponsoring it. We're just,
Allowing it to happen.
yeah.
Well, you don't even have to allow it.
Yeah, it's on private property. True.
Although there are regulations that you can only have.
Dan, what do you got,
poultry.
Dan?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think you guys have enough outs that we can probably make it happen if you'd like to. It's defensible.
I think it would be between the property owner and I guess I don't know. who's on the
Animal owners.
Animal owners.
Yeah.
I mean, because it could be completely privately sanctioned without the town's influence.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if you would talk to your dad, maybe.
Yeah.
And see if he's game, and then we'll do a little research, make sure we're not
Yes.
creating liability for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you know, there'd have to be somebody committed to clean up because you know what's going to be left behind.
and then we talked to Misky about that too.
Yeah.
About cleanup.
Yeah.
Was there any other decision items on this?
Yeah, we decide what games we're going to participate, and then what food we're gonna serve. We do have confirmation from Lake Fork Valley Conservancy. They're gonna do a booth, they're gonna do a mountain bike raffle, and then like an informational, public outreach kind of thing. Pioneer Jubilee Women's Club. They were gonna vote on it. They said they're interested in having a booth, for information purposes, possibly like a bake sale. Dirt's doing a beer garden. I didn't hear back from anybody from the library, the cemetery, We Care, EMS, fire, the school, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Senior Connections. I sent emails to all of them. So I'm gonna do a second outreach to everybody. And then we just need to decide what kind of, for the potluck, what's the town gonna provide, and then what games we're gonna have.
Cornhole is one of the things we're
I'm
gonna
in
do.
favor of the second one.
What, second one?
Tug of war.
No.
Beer pong?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know where we
That
put
was
it.
suggested by the chamber.
Yeah.
I don't know where we would put a mud pit. That's kind of.
The mud pit seems out. Tugboat doesn't seem
Well,
bad, but
we could do tug of war without a mud pit.
musical chairs, I don't even know.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, I don't want to see us totally replicate the 4th of July.
Right.
So if we could have games that are a little bit more tied to history,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
what did the
Yes.
miners do for fun?
So I did look up,
I have to get some hookers.
I did.
Yeah.
Wants to be back in business.
I looked up old fashioned, picnic games, and this is what I came up with, that the chamber's not already doing for the 4th of July.
So this is a list of those things.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
Kat did request that we don't duplicate anything that she does for the 4th.
Yeah, well, speaking of liability, I've given up on greasing up Willie's pig.
I was really hopeful for that.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been fun, but living in the
Maybe we can do it on Stan's lot.
What is cake? What is a cake?
It's like musical chairs, and then I think the winner gets a cake. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right?
Like whatever number you stop on
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are numbers.
It's an odd. It's fun. They used to do it at Halloween.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Texas Hold'em table.
Poker tournament,
You have to bring your horse, pay for your car.
dress up like the old West shooters.
Yeah.
A dunk tank could be fun for anyone but the mayor.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't know where we get that from.
I could look into it.
Right, you can look into it.
A dunk tank?
Yeah,
We had them before.
yeah,
We have.
get in there.
yeah.
It would be like a pie thrown,
And we're trying to conserve water too.
Air to let the kids throw pies.
Yeah, can we let kids throw pies at you?
With
Why
cream.
me?
He's gonna do the dunk tank.
Yeah, I'll do the dunk tank, you do the thighs.
Well, we can talk to other people, like, people who like to dunk, possibly the sheriff or
Yeah.
That's
fire
true.
department personnel or their favorite teacher. You know, let's not limit it to the main.
So besides cornhole tournament, don't want to do a backwards race. Wheelbarrow race sounds dangerous. but
Every
fun.
life sounds dangerous.
I know.
You know, I mean, holy man.
We live in a different world.
I'm staying home.
Just have us
If it really was,
Yeah.
if it really was 250 years ago, we'd have skeet shooting in the park, you know.
Yeah. Any ideas on any of these other things, or do we need feedback? We need direction, guys.
We need to advertise.
I think you're doing a great job.
Seems like a pretty heavy event.
Well, no, I'm not. Only the things in bold and green are the things confirmed. Everything else
totally.
are
I think
suggestions.
turkey legs are hard to do too.
They
That's
are.
what I thought, yeah.
I used to do
They're
that
hard to
for
get
EMS and it was,
They're expensive.
I mean, it's 5:30 in the morning and you got to start, you have to have all these grills and you got to have them to a certain temperature and it was very laborious.
Yeah,
I mean, they're awesome to eat.
yeah, I know
But-
they're a lot.
I mean, I think with the baked potatoes, we can make a lot of them easily.
Mhm.
Is the Olathe corn still in season on August 1st?
Oh, I have no idea.
Should be,
Probably.
should be.
I mean, my vote would be baked potatoes.
They used to do shepherds pie for the miners.
Having to cook a bunch of meat.
Right.
Sweet corn, I think that's a great idea. It should be ready. It should be at like prime right then, shouldn't it?
So let's just say, like, what, are y'all cool with baked potatoes and sweet corn or? Corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do baked potatoes and corn.
Okay.
And then for the, so like,
It'll be a pop-up, so.
water balloon dodgeball sounds messy and would be a big mess. Oh, a dizzy bat race would be kind of fun. I don't know, guys.
Bat?
We need y'all's feedback. So just
I
pick
like
one of
the
the races.
cornhole. I
Like
like the
three-legged
cornhole.
races.
The three-legged, well, they do that during the fourth.
Yeah.
I think the wheelbarrow
It takes
race.
sack race.
I feel like a
That's-
wheelbarrow race might lose a tooth. I
The,
like the
uh,
dizzy bat race.
The bat race, dizzy bat, that could be fun, but not if they've been in the beer booth for 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's,
God.
well, let's do dizzy bat race. And,
Sober dizzy bat race.
yeah, we'll call it sober
Yeah, that could
dizzy
be
bat
messy.
race. We'll do a cornhole tournament and a dizzy bat race.
And you're saying baked potatoes and sweet corn, that's it? Not-
Well, no, because then we're gonna do a potluck. We're gonna ask people to bring their own dishes.
What's that game that they
Can
play
we
where you
just-
throw like the string with two balls on that like wraps around the. Not tetherball, it's like corn, what?
Foxtail
Oh.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's different, like there's like
and
a,
it's not too dangerous.
no.
What is it?
So it's a potluck?
Well, yeah, we would provide corn and baked potatoes, and then we're trying to make it a community thing. Back in the day, there used to be a lot of potlucks here. And so we wanted to advertise, hey, we're gonna do a potluck, please bring a dish. The town's gonna be provided baked potatoes and sweet corn. And yeah,
I was just thinking, the town, I just did a potluck and provided like the main thing, like hot dogs or burgers. Have something and then, you know, side dishes that go with that. I don't know if the town wants to deal with.
yeah, I usually have to have someone out there just cooking the whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
No, just lay them in the sun.
Lasso golf. That's what it's called.
Never heard of that.
So what, hot dogs and like sweet corn?
Burgers and stuff.
Ladder ball.
Hot dogs are pretty, I don't know. It all depends. We've done things in the past where Park and Rec would do the, you know,
Yeah,
I don't want to sign Ben up for it, but like, you know, they've done burgers and brats
yeah.
It's all
type of
good.
thing.
Make Willie do it.
All right, so let's just do burger spots. We'll ask people to bring their.
Ladder ball, or also known as lasso ball. But
And I think you can do baked potatoes. They're cheap. Up to you, Lex.
Yeah.
I don't think,
Huh?
I like it.
does that would work here?
It all sounds.
But I'm just a random voice from the audience.
So y'all are the trustees, y'all are y'all are the decision makers,
So
so.
who's cooking?
I mean, we don't know, we don't even know,
Decide what we're cooking first.
and
Okay.
what staff is gonna be available. So,
Can we get volunteers?
maybe,
We'll try.
Slim
I can
Pickens.
get volunteers from the parks.
Got lots of people that like to volunteer.
Yeah, you know a lot of people.
Yeah, all right, well, how about we just do burgers and
Burgers, beers, and brats.
Brats and.
burgers and brats. We'll do burgers, brats, and ask everybody else to bring potluck, okay? And Dizzy Bat Race, we have a bat. We don't have to buy a foxtail or whatever the hell thing is. So, you know,
Ladder ball.
yeah,
I want to revisit the tug of war again with no mud pit.
okay,
Because people are really excited about that.
and we should,
No mud pit.
No mud pit,
Do you have
just tug of war.
do you have a giant rope?
Yeah, we could get a giant rope.
All right, we'll do cornhole, tug of war, Dizzy Bat Race.
In the
Okay.
gym? Yeah.
There's like a
Then we
big.
got the world
It's hard
famous
enough.
Bill
They could
Bird,
get down.
Lake City's most famous MC. That's
Yes,
amazing.
and he's very excited about it. I saw him the
And
other
then
day.
I guess we have those races and then we could advertise to see if businesses or locals wanted to donate prizes for those things. Or prizes for the races or for,
Yeah.
And we're gonna have slip inside and bounce houses, one or the other. I don't think there's gonna be both.
yeah, probably slip inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
And
be
then if
fun.
anybody runs into Chris Bloomer,
We're having trouble finding anyone to do music.
yeah,
Have you asked Jeff Eaton yet?
no. I don't know.
So. Okay, anybody have any other questions on this?
No, I think you're doing a great job. Sounds like bigger than the 4th of July.
Yeah. All right, we'll make another push to reaching out to people and then also put advertising stuff for the donation and whatnot.
I'm overwhelmed with all this stuff.
These are just suggestions.
It looks like a big exciting event.
Yeah, but a lot of those are just suggestions, but we kind of nailed down a few more things this time.
Well, I think it's great. The Wild West shooters, they fit right in. What's a flag contest? I don't mean to sound negative.
We thought about doing like a coloring contest where like the kids could create a flag for, the town for this event.
Yeah.
We're getting kind of tight on time. for
Yeah, we're
coloring
running-
contests,
so we're-
so if we're gonna do that, we need to decide it, and get it out there like now.
Well, I think you got a great list, and if half of this comes together, it'll be a good day.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just not do it's a little too late for a contest, yeah.
Okay? Nothing else? We will move on to our next item. Everyone good? Next item is review Alpine Loop Outpost conditional use permit at 131 North Gunnison, dated May 8th, 2025, and planning and zoning recommendation for a 6-foot fence between OHV rental equipment. That's,
Yeah,
introduce that or?
the planning last year, planning and zoning had recommended to approve that conditional use for him to operate the OHV rental business there. And instead of requiring the 6-foot fence, they had taken, Doug had asked that he would be able to use a hedge. And in that permit, it said it would be reviewed in a year to see if that hedge grew. The hedge has not grown very much. And so they reviewed it, and now they've made a recommendation that a 6-foot fence be required to build it because the zoning regulation, which I have a copy of the regulations under by your desk here, require that 6-foot fence or hedge screen stored equipment or stored equipment. And so it was something that, where Michael Murphy has his office now, that was another OHV rental business, and we had recommended them to build a fence for their OHV rentals. And so now after they reviewed it, they've made a recommendation that a 6-foot fence be required to screen the storage of his OHV rentals.
Trustee Woods?
I think a 6-foot fence along the street side is in conflict with the historic preservation guidelines.
It would have to be set back from the face, it would have to be not in front of the building. It could be set back from the side of the building and there'd be a 6-foot fence, or straight off the side of it would work too.
Seems like all those machines come under the heading of something for sale.
Yep. I agree.
So I don't know if that's right to require that myself.
And then,
I-
go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say, I was in that meeting, and it wasn't the most popular thing, but as I look at it and study it and think about that, back when this ordinance was put in place, was it 1988?
Yeah.
OHVs didn't even exist in this town.
Right.
And the way I look at it is this, that is now somebody's product. That's what they do. And if you go like, somebody had said, well, if they're for sale, they can be out in the open. If they're rentals, then they should be behind a fence. Well, when you drive by the Gunnison Airport, there's rental car lots there and they're not fenced in. I'm not speaking on behalf of the board. My personal thing is junk. But I think if that's your product, you know, there was even talk about they have a sign that says rental for sale. You know, you go to a car lot where there's new cars and used cars, they don't always say new and used. You know, they don't differentiate. Let's not talk about that. They have window stickers, but just my opinion on this, and I kind of agree with Henry, if there's equipment being stored that's broken down or junk or whatever, then it should be fenced in. But if it's their product, that's their business, and that's how they make their living, I think that's part of conducting that business. Right. Trustee Brew.
And, you know, looking at the central business district and the general business district, which is where the other OHV business is located, we're not requiring them to have a 6-foot fence.
Well,
That's,
yeah, and when we get further into the agenda, you know, Doug had wrote a letter about the ordinance or the municipal code requiring that. And he does mention Lake City Auto, that we're not requiring that. So if we require Doug to do it, we would need to require Lake City Auto also, and that would need to be in the lease because there's actually no zoning regulations applied to the right of way. Because that's by block. And so anything that's in a zoning regulation that the board would want to apply to that right of way, they would need to include it in the lease.
So we've had people ask for a 6-foot fence and not allow it. Like we've had multiple people in the historical society or the historical district ask and try their hardest with different arbors and stuff to achieve a 6-foot fence, and to require someone to have a 6-foot fence and not, it doesn't make sense. It seems like.
Yeah, but those are 6-foot fences that are placed in front
Yeah, well,
of
it's
the
still, I
facade
mean,
of the house.
it's still, you know, the difference of a fence being 6 foot, and not requiring somebody to have it versus products versus junk versus whatever you want to call it. So making somebody required to have a 6-foot fence versus not allowing others because it blocks a view of your view to their private property doesn't make sense.
Trustee Woods.
It's not just the machines being for sale, but it's a service
Correct.
that's for sale that he's providing. So
Correct.
I don't think we need to require that myself.
The other point I was gonna make too is like rental Jeeps.
And
Yeah.
Landon's right about that.
You know, the rental Jeeps, that's like a car rental company, it's the difference.
Right.
And since OHVs are allowed in our town,
Yeah.
I don't differentiate to me.
Yeah, and I would add one more thing. In the conditional use for the central business district, it's C2, where it says motor vehicle dealerships and rental agencies, including those selling or renting automobiles, trucks, motorcycles, snow vehicles, and all terrain vehicles, boats. So I think it was something that may have just been overlooked at the time. because the storage of equipment's pretty broad. And so, I mean, if the trustees are not going to, well, it's an action item, if they're not gonna require the 6-foot fence for the rental equipment specifically, then that we're gonna need to update this part of the code so that reflects correctly, because when planning and zoning reviews these things, they're interpreting what's written
Well, I would rather do that than force everybody to have a 6-foot fence.
Correct.
for rental and sell equipment.
Right.
Because that's something we would probably want to clarify in the language, so that not just junk can be out there.
Well, you require that, like City
Well, it
Autumn like you
says.
said, and then how does that work on your lease agreement?
Yeah, that would requires us to modify these.
There is an exception, except items displayed for sale, and just add the verbiage or rental.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And that's a pretty easy change. The other thing you guys might want to consider is if you're concerned about junk and all that stuff, you have a nuisance abatement route to address that. So if the idea is we don't want junk piling up and we have these OHVs out there, and you allow the rental part, you can, and junk starts piling up, you can still remedy that.
Correct.
So we'll come up on one of the next meetings, we'll have a discussion about changing that zoning regulation.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, we need those direction to do that.
With all due respect to planning and zoning, because we don't normally go against a recommendation of theirs. So,
But I mean,
and I thank them for their work.
and it makes sense if you're going against it and you're changing the regulations so that they can still do the job based on what's written. You know, they're just doing their job.
Right.
So we write that down too, that we need to draft an ordinance change the fence regulation.
Okay, and segue right into that. Our next, everybody done with that item?
Mhm.
The next item is to discuss Doug From's request to review zoning regulations requiring a 6-foot fence or hedge for OHV rental businesses in the central business district and the general business zoning districts. I think we pretty much just covered that in that same discussion.
Yes, we did.
No,
Okay? I'm gonna cut anybody off. Any final comments or words? Okay. Our next item is to discuss ordinance 2026-06, the 8th Street lease agreement.
Got a comment. So Dan got this to me late yesterday and we sent it over to, James. And James came back with a red line that is printed out and on your desk. That what's in red is what he suggested. Dan, did you have a chance to read that?
I apologize. I have been in court all day. And yeah, Lex has been on top of this, and the applicant has too. And so I've glanced at it. My thoughts are roughly in line with Lex's. So if you want to, but a lot of it is just your guys' decisions. We can go through the comments one at a time if you'd like.
Let me find my printed copy of it. So, thought I printed. That's yours. So everything that Dan had put in it was what we had discussed. There is the 30-year lease. There is the, which is what the leasee had desired. He had actually desired 60 years. But with the fishing access, which the fishing access is in here, Henry. The fishing access is in here, is that he would be granting fishing access in the river.
I kind of wanted to see it described better, in more detail, which
I
I didn't see this copy underneath there.
It's under Article 5, Henry.
And on that fishing access, I didn't know exactly what we were looking for, so I left it blank, but it is a condition of the lease, meaning if it's not provided and it's satisfactory to the town, we don't have a meeting of the minds, we don't have the lease.
See, we talked about having it described as 4 feet on each side of the high water mark, right?
4 feet.
Is that what I,
And I apologize. You're absolutely right. That's what you said. I was picturing more to get down from, the road or the highway, I guess, to the water, but you're talking along the shoreline.
Well, that's what Camille talked about.
Yeah, like through the river and along the shoreline to connect
Okay.
the two areas.
So that's what I was, and that's how I've seen them described before.
Okay.
That's
The one
simple
thing
enough.
that-
We can make that change if you give us direction.
Yeah. So y'all want to see that change as well, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
4 feet.
And I think if you go over there and look at the geography of it, behind that property, it's like this to the river. The place that would apply more, Henry, is the other side of the river, because that's actually walkable. But my
Yeah.
memory of,
Isn't
it's
there a
very
trail
steep down to the river on that one side.
on the other side of the river?
There's not really a trail over there.
The trail doesn't go through because it would go through,
The trail
The
is
Bowie's place.
by Bowie's house and drops down, and that's the town trail. Part of it to me was the ability, you're walking the river and wading, whatever, you're allowed to fish that section of the river.
Right.
South Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be okay like it is, but that's just me.
And then it gets fun because Lake Street runs down the middle there. And
Pardon me?
see, this is like.
Lake Street runs down the middle of the river there, and over the years, that, even the river changes course. And so how are you gonna delineate that?
This property line does not adjust to the other side. That is all technically public.
Oh, yeah, I thought it did.
The trail goes up through here to Water Street.
Yeah. So more or less, it's really granting access through the river, Henry.
So I thought if you came down,
That's public.
yeah, and you come down here, I thought the trail would just.
It does. That's all public already.
Okay,
That's a street right away. through the
all right.
Uh,
So 4 foot on the west side of the
East,
high mark.
east side, on the east side of the river. On the west side is a cliff face. On the east side is where
It
there's a
doesn't
little
go
beach.
through though, he showed me.
Yeah, so this line here is the street access, right, or the street right away, Lake Street. His property does not go to the east side of the property,
So we would want it to 4 feet on the west side.
which is impassable by walk.
Right.
Or because it's technically the bottom of the river that you're touching is private property. Anybody can float down the river as soon as their raft bottom or person touches it.
I mean, I think what's in here is,
Camille thought she could get a trail through there, so.
Not without drilling and blasting.
no.
And then there'd be no access on that side anyways to go underneath the bridge.
If it's public property on the other side of the river,
You don't need it.
we don't need it.
All right, so we're just gonna leave it the way it is. How about that? You still get the access, Henry.
We need to have it described somehow as at least say the high water mark.
We can make that change.
Yeah, we can do that. So on the printed out version that I have for you guys with the red line from James, I strongly, I don't think it's in the town's favor to have it automatically renewed for another 30 years, because any future board that with a town that had future needs, we don't know what that's going to be, and so that all needs to be just renegotiated when the lease is up in 30 years. So I do not think we should agree to have an automatic renewal for 30 years.
And I do have in there that it may be renewed for subsequent terms. And I left that kind of broad because if everything goes perfect and you guys want to just say, yeah, reprint that out, update the dates, then good. But if you decide you need to revise some portion of it, that gives you that wiggle room.
Right, and you know, in 30 years, the lease amount might not be the same. So it would be renewing with the same terms, but really that should be able to be negotiated. In 30 years, we have no idea how valuable what little land we already have is. So that would be another reason. Like, it would be open to be renewed, but it's something that just needs to be considered and negotiated at the term of the lease.
Yep.
Having a guaranteed 30 years, I don't think it's in the town's best interest. For the additions for Article 8, which is the, page, between page 5 and 6, all
Right.
those red lines.
On page 4.
Yeah, I mean, having, like, we're the property owner. If we need the property at some point, I mean, we still have the public hearing. We'd still give notice for that. You would still be able to, like the way Dan wrote it, there would still be a public hearing to determine, what our process was, if there was alternatives or why not, or if he could provide an alternative. But the way these additions are is that we're adding another 120 days for the leasee to have a proposal of alternative sites or other things, or trying to figure out, I guess, a different path for the town to take. And then that would include also then a 60-day notice for the public hearing, and then on top of that, he's asking for, like, the termination date would be 12 months after we decided something. So it's like adding a year and a half to the whole process. It would still, the way Dan wrote it, I mean, they would still have the opportunity to, in the public hearing, to state his case. But I mean, it's I don't know that, and then a 2/3 majority, which really just takes a majority of the board to decide on something like this. The super majorities are very specific in our state statute.
Correct.
So
2/3 majority of the full board. And if one person was missing and
yeah,
Well, they can't dictate that to us. Like said, it's in state statute. So yeah, that's not negotiable.
So yeah, so I mean, y'all read this and let us know. I mean, yeah, because I mean, there would still be a hearing. There would be discussions going on before we just terminated it. There would be nothing out of the blue. There would still be the public hearing. There would probably be an entire deliberation for months about what we're going to use it for, how we're going to use it. Is it feasible to use? Is there an alternative location for, whatever we're proposing to use it for?
The bottom line is we're answerable to the people of this town.
Right.
And we are supposed to be good stewards of their property and their money. And this is just a protection for us. There is no foreseeable issues at this point in time. So, it is merely just a protection for the town. And I don't see it as negative. I just see it as the way things, like Dan said, the way things need to be to keep us in a good spot.
So, I mean, as far as the red line, what are y'all, I mean, we need a little bit of direction. We're probably not going to be able to approve this tonight since we need to amend it with the fishing stuff and then whatever other we negotiate on this.
The ordinance that I drafted actually says that it authorizes the mayor, if you guys want to approve it, it authorizes the mayor to approve this lease in substantially the same form and to negotiate terms so long as they don't materially change from what you guys give us direction for. So we can make that fishing change pretty easily. We can, if you say, yeah, we want to make sure there's a hearing, just hash out this language. I think we're really close. And to be real honest with you guys, this applicant has been good. He's just looking for some security. And I think that Lex and I can probably reach an agreement with him. I haven't had time to breathe or pull up from the desk today. So I apologize. It's my fault.
Well, we just got this, so yeah. Your recommendation is that we approve with pending changes?
Well,
I think you can give staff direction for the changes and then say, here's what we want. And we can wrap it up. I think it looks like a lot of red lines, but I think we're actually very close.
So, I mean, what you want is the better description of fishing access in terms of You don't want the automatic renewal for 30 years. I got that part. And the super majority part, don't, that's a no-go. And what about the other parts that are redlined?
Yeah.
Or that are in red?
So the difference between what I wrote and what he wrote there, in my version, they're owed a public hearing and they can bring, alternatives to the town. Say we need it for whatever town purpose. They can say, well, you have this other property. In their version, that burden is on us. So I think we were getting to the same spot, but it's a matter of who does the legwork. And I think it's fair for the town to ask the lessee to do the legwork.
Yeah, that was another point of mine, is that creates a lot of an administrative burden of all these reviews and considerations, and then putting all that in writing and having to explain it all when we're the property owner, so it belongs to us. So I didn't agree with that red line either, just because of one of the reasons being the administrative burden of it.
Trustee Woods?
So in Article 8, I don't really agree with any of those red line parts.
Okay. I'll give you my gut feel on it. I was good with it, but I was just made aware of this afternoon. And this is something we tapped you and Dan with to get the negotiating done. And this is like still negotiations.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about it. And I'll be honest with you, the times in my life that I've regretted is when I rushed into something. Feeling like it was also now it's an emergency. We got to get it done right now. I want to get this done, but this is a very late change, late in the game. And I would only be comfortable with it, based on staff and our attorney. This is not my specialty. That's why we pay an attorney. So.
Well, and I'm not saying you guys have to do it. I'm just saying that is an option if you want to do it tonight. If you want to have us get it in final form and bring it back to you, I'm happy to do that as well.
I think
And I can see that, okay, we're going to terminate this lease. They're going to need time to move their stuff. So, I'm not really even against giving them a year to figure it out, or 6 months or something, just not with an extra 120 days behind it of waiting for like a proposal from the leasee. So I don't know, would y'all be open for like a 6, 8, or 10 or 12 month effective date? Like we determine that we need it and we just say, okay, we're going to need it in 1 year. You have 1 year to move your stuff. Because that is a lot of equipment and that is a very small place. So I understand his concern with that.
what do you think, Dave?
I'm thinking a lot.
But if we determine we need it, most likely we're going to be finding funding for whatever we're doing. There's going to be this whole other long process. So like the land use part of it would have to come first in whatever we're deciding to do.
Right. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm repeating what I just said. I was good with it. These changes now, I don't understand some of it. And that's the purpose of an attorney. I've already said, I want to get this done. I don't want to delay it, but I also don't want to approve something that I don't know what I'm approving. Just me personally, like feeling like, oh yeah, let's just get it done.
No, I
So
agree.
if there's something where, I don't know how much, I do agree, there's some of this red line I don't agree with, but like I said, I was happy with it prior to getting this copy, but I still think I'm listening to Dan, and what I'm hearing is this is another way of expressing what was already expressed, just adding some, details that I don't know the legality of, like the supermajority vote, putting that in this lease. I don't know. That's where I got to lead on Dan.
Yeah.
I'd probably recommend against the supermajority vote. In your statutes, that's very rarely used. It's used for executive sessions and emergencies generally only. So, and any kind of revocation of this lease, you would have to make findings that we do need that there's not a reasonable alternative, all that stuff anyway. So, yeah, if you guys want us to get it to where it's just ready for a signature, that's fine as well.
Okay, well, and I think a key to this is the board is, we've discussed it in the past. We want to see this thing work.
Yes.
You know, happy to have a new business owner in Lake City. I believe it's not about personalities or anything like that, but I think, Trustee Bruce hit it on the head. Our responsibility is protecting the citizenry of our town. And the key to that is making sure that we're doing the right thing. So, on one hand, yes, I want to get it done. On the other hand, I don't want to do much haste and then we do something we regret. So,
Let's give it to Dan, right? Let's give it back.
And we'll postpone it, a motion to continue negotiations or something. When we get to the action. item.
It's gonna happen. I just feel like it's gonna happen.
yeah, I don't
But-
think anyone's against it.
Right.
We definitely want to do it. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna.
So would y'all be opposed to having it, like, we give them a year heads up, hey, we're terminating this, you got a year to move your stuff or effective date, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, just based on like the location of the property itself. The land use that the town would have to be very specific for what we would use it for. There can't put a bridge across it. The only thing that you would maybe be able to do is underground water lines, which would be an extensive cost. I think that, with all that said, like you said, it's a planning, it takes time and planning, and the 12-month a year is a heads up. I don't like having to prove that we need an alternative location.
Right.
I don't also like the super majority, they could go 50-50, but that's my thing. I think that I want it to work because like business has been there forever. I think the use of the land is minimal. We don't use it, can't use it at the moment.
I agree.
And I want it to move forward.
I agree with Orlando.
Yeah.
So it's an action item. And we want to continue, like giving Dan permission to finish this negotiation. We're agreeing to it, trusting Dan and Lex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the one place I'm uncomfortable, is I do not know in black and white what it is I'm agreeing to.
Right.
Just being honest.
Or we can just negotiate it and bring it back to you for signature and approval at the next time.
Right, that's what we're saying.
So we'll
Okay.
just postpone that discussion until next meeting.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I was understanding correctly. Thank
So,
you.
okay, so I'm hearing that we can give them a 12-month heads up. Hey, we're terminating this, that you'll need to move all your stuff in 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you hit it on it also, Lex, is not adding another 30 years. I think 30 years is plenty. None of us know. I won't be around, so this will be
Right.
your problem.
That won't be my problem.
But I also, I feel it's important. I feel it's important that
Very
it's done in the town's best interest. And I said when all this started, we want a win-win situation. And so I think we can achieve that. I don't mean to drag it out. Like I said, I just handed this. Is that where we're at, Lex? Everybody?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other comments on that item?
I just wanted to go through.
Me too.
I think it's great for the town, for the business. So
Me too.
I think we all,
protection is key, but good thing for the town.
so am I hearing from the trustees, we want to proceed with the action items this evening, making sure that Dan and Lex are in total agreement with what the final.
The action items would just be a motion to postpone to the next meeting. Just to postpone, like approval or denying it or whatever. Because you want us to continue to negotiate it to get it to where it's in a state where y'all are willing to approve it. Correct? Yeah, so just the motion will be to postpone the action item until the next meeting.
All right, here. Well, I think we're on the same page. We all want to get it done, but I also think glad. Okay. All right, there's no more discussion on that. Then our next item this evening is to discuss Josh approval request to use Silver Street parking station for music events. Did you all see the letter that was in your pocket?
Yes.
From
Yep.
Mr. Chu and any trustee?
So I assume it's 50 feet along Silver Street, 23 out, right?
Mhm.
Letter doesn't really state that.
Is it 23 feet from the fence or from
Property line?
It's 23 feet from my property
Property
line,
line.
which is the exterior fence
fence?
to the end of where Silver Street, like, or Silver Street actually is.
I went over there and walked in. What I saw in my mind, I know what two town lots looks like. It's 50 feet and it's approximately 5 parking spaces. And I just want to share, I'm going to be on the record. I'm not trying to throw a wrench in anything, but I have to live with myself and my own conscience. As I went and looked at it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But one of my big concerns in this town is parking. And it's an issue. And I guess what my gut told me right off the bat, I support business. Everybody knows I'm pro-business. I want people to succeed and all that. My gut reaction popped up with, are we opening Pandora's box? And I'm just going to play devil's advocate, but how far does this go? What happens when Biddle says, well, we want a musician on our deck. So now we want all the parking spaces in front of Biddle's there, and that's a parking nightmare already. What happens when Kennedy Dry Goods, now they want to do sidewalk sales, and we want the parking spaces in front of our business? You know, that's just something to consider. Are we going to be dealing with this on and on and on? And the other thing I'd like to know is how much of an impact does this place on staff? I don't know the liquor laws and all that stuff. A trustee was speaking with me, as far as, does it have to be a special use permit every time to allow you to have liquor outside of your boundary? Because I'm pretty sure liquor laws state that it has to be on your property. And then when it's not, kind of like the Wine and Music Festival, they have to get a special use permit to be able to have the alcohol not on their property. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just, these are reality,
I can help answer those questions too for you if you'd like.
Well, how did it come up?
Okay, yeah, come on up, Josh.
Here?
Yeah, the hot seat.
Welcome to the hot.
Hi.
So our receptacle liquor board, so there's not a special use permit required. There's no kind of special anything required. So it's a temporary extension of your current liquor license. So what we would do is I would draw a border. I have that, and I apologize, I meant to send it with the letter. But I would basically draw a border on a map showing them, hey, this is where the liquor license will be extended to for these 5 days during this time period. And then basically our insurance and everything will cover its status quo.
Yeah, it's a temporary modification of premises.
Okay,
And then they would have to have some kind of written approval from us saying that we're permitting it.
And alcohol stays within the boundary.
Yeah, within however he's controlling the premises.
So
We don't have staff there.
And I would rent the boundaries from the county, just like we did for the event we held out there for, the Ice Climbing Festival. So it would be the exact same thing. We would have those opportunities everywhere staff, so that way we wouldn't have any like alcohol going into places that we shouldn't be. And it's basically just an overflow. We don't know if we're gonna need this, but we want to have it ready in case these events are fantastic and phenomenal and people show up and we know what we can fit on the patio, but we want to make sure we have an extra space as well. So that way we can maximize our opportunity.
right.
Like I said, it's basically 5.5 parking spaces. That's what it boils down to. The average car size is 8.5 to 9 feet.
And it's standing room only.
Yeah, it'll be standing room only. We're gonna put some whiskey barrels out there for people just to put their drinks and stuff out there. We'll have a cocktail waitress, maybe a little bar set up in the corner, like a beer tub, something like that. We have ideas. Obviously, we didn't want to put the cart before the horse. We want to make sure we have approval first, go to the liquor board, get all that, and then we'll kind of lay out what that looks like. And if the board wants us to come back with that, we certainly can.
Okay. Lex?
All right.
Yeah. That it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, just
Let's let the board. Yeah, Jody, you can join us. You're gonna be
Okay,
sworn in shortly.
I'm sorry. I just one little question about this. Is how are you going to secure the parking spaces leading up to the event? Like, are you gonna put cones out hours ahead? You know, like, how are you are you gonna tell people get out, or that's my question.
I mean, I think we're gonna have to cone them off at some point to give us a little bit of access.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those parking spots at that time, so it's an evening event. So the only people we're gonna affect, the only people open after 5 PM on Silver Street is us from that block down. So if we're gonna affect parking, we're only affecting ourselves.
Well, I'm just curious as to how you're securing those spaces beforehand. Like, have you thought about when you might move out there? What if I'm parked and I'm at the gym and but I parked in front of your place because it's public parking?
I think we'd have to put a timeline in effect. Maybe that's part of what the decision is between us and the
Thank you.
board is when we can do that.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
open
all
to
I
that, right?
wanted
If
to
that's
know.
something that we want to discuss, to say, hey, at 3 o'clock on that afternoon, I have permission from the town to block that area off. So that way by 4 o'clock, we can put our barriers in place, be ready for doors open at 5. I'm open to that discussion. I don't think it needs to be all day because Cafe 98's there, Cabin Fever's there, Y'all's Gym's going to be there. We got the gym people on the far side. We got the t-shirt shop on the other side. So there are some businesses that are going to be open. But the other side of that is that we did this during what I consider our shoulder season. So all the Texans have basically gone back in. We did it that 5-week period leading up to the Wine and Music Festival, which is a slower time of the year to potentially drive more business to not only us, but lodging and everywhere.
Okay, that's,
Something to keep in mind is that, so our code does require one off-street parking spot per 200 square feet of customer floor area. And the Bushwhack at one point a couple of years ago, they had got rid of some of their parking and created a courtyard in there where they had off-street parking. And they had like a little fire pit. They put extra seating tables. And then we went back and told them, no, you need to have your 14 off-street parking spots. We made them get rid of that and restore their parking spots because that's what the code says. Huh?
For a motel though.
That was for a motel and a restaurant. They were creating seating. They were creating extra seating for their restaurant out there in their parking lot, in their own off-street parking.
They had established off-street parking. It's impossible for them to have off-street parking.
No, I agree. I'm just pointing out
It's
something.
a different.
Okay. All right. Okay. So be
Just
it.
saying.
trustee Winter?
I think that they've done their due diligence well enough. I think that the fact that if it was based on a time schedule and they didn't block it off all day, the main importance is most businesses are closed by 4, I would imagine.
Or 5, yeah.
4 o'clock. I think the shoulder season, what they nailed that too. I think that this is kind of a first unique experience with this kind of trial, I would call it. I think it's a great idea. I also think that I like the time dilation of maybe having it being a 3 o'clock standard, just so you don't run into parking issues. And not, I mean,
And it's only 5 evenings. It's
Yeah,
only
we're talking about,
5,
yeah,
5 days.
5 Mondays.
And it's Monday.
Mondays,
And it's
yeah.
Monday- And it's Mondays.
I like the Monday part. I guess I just have to continue. Little devil's advocate here. Is this now going to be on a case-by-case basis? I believe in fairness across the board. One of my pet peeves when I moved here was selective enforcement. They could get away with this, they couldn't, they could. And I'm just, like I said, when Bushwhack decides they want to have music out in their little dining area out there, then do they come to us? Is this something that the board's going to go through every single time and on a case-by-case basis? You get my point, they're going to come along and say, well, wait, we want music at our little
I think that's why it's
courtyard, and so
conditional.
can we block off all the parking out front here? I think the key to this is working together, to make sense.
I mean, if I was asking for that during Wine and Music or 4th of July, you're going to be looking at your idiot. Why would you do that? But
Right,
during the time period in which we're doing it, I think it's fair.
right. But you get my point.
Oh, yeah,
I stand up for fairness. And, is this how much of an extra burden is this on the board and the town staff?
It won't be that big of a deal for town staff to do the paperwork. We'll need to draft some kind of letter giving them permission with whatever conditions, yeah. So we'll need to draft some kind of agreement or letter of permission for him. And then he'll have to go through the modification of premises. And then go from there.
And BLM just wrote me a letterhead for that, the property that we used over there for the ice climbing festival, and that was what was acceptable to the board then, so I think something with the town of Lake City on it, and signature and saying, hey, you're allowed to use this property, we'll call it 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on these days. I think that would be enough for them.
All right. Yep, well, thanks for hearing me out. I just wanted to share my feeling. This could be coming up.
Yeah.
And we'll need to.
And so if you make a motion to approve his request, and to approve his request and direct staff to draft a letter of permission, with the condition that the spaces can be used only on a Monday from 3 to 10 p.m.
Unspecified dates.
Unspecified. Well,
Which he specified in his letter.
yeah, okay. For the 5 consecutive Mondays from August 17th to September 14th.
Just 3 to 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's when he's doing his music stuff.
That gives us an hour to clean up. I mean, I think that's fair on our side. I mean, if we wanted to extend it to 11 to give me a little extra time to clean up, we could, but music's gonna end at 9. We have to have music done by 10 because of the noise ordinance. So, I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
a little bit of time to clean up would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't have to rush.
Release the gate at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
As long as that didn't run into the next day, I'm obviously not gonna be cleaning up at noon the next day. We'll get it cleaned up that night.
If Henry has a hand up.
Yes, you would.
Well, I think this sounds good. It's something we should try. I guess if you write a letter that just has the times just that are agreeable
Okay.
to Josh and to clarify that, I think that would be good.
Perfect.
All righty.
Okay.
You see? Yep.
All right. And I would be done with one other thing. By giving that permission, it doesn't open any liability to the town. I was concerned about the town.
His insurance and all that would cover it. It would be
Yeah,
part
just
of
we're
the
extending
modification.
our current liquor license, so we're just including that space into our liquor license. I already reached out to my insurance. They're fine with it, no additional cost to me.
Okay? All right. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, John. Yep, and this is a action item.
Yes.
I thought I saw.
It's not on here.
That'll be at the next one.
Yeah, because you usually don't like to act on something you first considered, but I understand the mission. So I will have it as an action item next time, and y'all see the letter that I got.
All right, then that was good discussion, and then our next meeting, we'll take action.
Perfect.
And any additional discussion if anybody comes up with it. Okay. The next item is discuss placing a town ballot question on the November 2026 Hinsdale County election ballot regarding municipal coordinated elections. Next.
So I did reach out to Joan. She said approximately it would be about $3,000 for us to run our municipal elections with the state November election. And so currently it costs us about $6 or $7,000 for just the materials and the judges. And then usually another $5,000 to $6,000 for a consultant to help us run them.
Correct.
So on average about $12,000. And this would also the purpose of it, one, is to kind of streamline things. People were confused, even the judges. Oh, I thought that the election's in November. So I know this is our municipal election. Classically, communities do have better turnout if it's all one election in a coordinated election. So we would hope for that as well. And it would save the time money or the town money. And staff has been thinking about this and thought it would make sense. There would only be one election. It'd be all the same ballot. We would hopefully get more turnout. It would save us money on it. And also if there was something like this last time where there was some people that weren't in, that didn't initially get a ballot, that's not even systems we can access. It's something the county does. So like when we tried to contact them Friday, Joan wasn't there, so we couldn't, and Allison could help us. So it would avoid that too. People that had issues would be able to get immediate help with it.
This is a no-brainer. This is, right?
Yep. The only thing I was asked to bring up in this is to possibly look at when other counties include municipal elections on their ballots. It was brought up to my attention that it's better on odd years because, and I said, I don't know anything about this. We'll have to look into it, but it adds to the ballot. It gets huge. And I said, well, I don't know how that would work with terms that start and end with ours. But my suggestion was to the county clerk to communicate with the town clerk, and you guys discuss that.
Okay.
So I was just asked to share that. No personal, but I do agree it's a no-brainer to not spend,
Dan, since we're a statutory municipality, can we even do elections on odd years?
That's one of those questions that every one of my clients is either a statutory city, a statutory town, or a home rule, and I get them confused. So I can look it up, but whatever I tell you right now is going to be wrong.
Okay, so then maybe put a note to talk to Karen Goldman about it.
okay, well, and double checking that is not an action. It's just,
It was this discussion.
and so just if we could look into that.
We can, we'll end up having to send them something, I think by mid-July, to let them know if we're doing it or not. So we still have at least one more meeting where we can figure it out.
Okay.
Or two more. What's the day? Yeah, two more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I agree. It's common sense. I spend so much money we don't have to. Okay. Our next item is to discuss placing a town ballot question on the November 2026 Hinsdale County election ballot regarding the reduction of the number of trustees from 6 to 4. We had brought this up in the past. There was some trustees that were for it, some that were against it. One of the things in the times I've been here, I'm in favor of voting, and I have a lot of people tell me that, a lot of citizens, that they think that it's about time. And I know people say it's better off having 7 for diversity and all that kind of stuff. Here's where I question it. In the past elections, we always end up with these empty seats, and then people get plugged in, and I don't have a problem. It's nothing about people. What it is that truly serving the electorate? Are their voices making the choices of the people that sit here? And as people have come up to me about it, they just think 7 is an overkill. And so that's why, we're discussing this again.
I'd just like to say that I know I have spoken out against reducing the number of trustees because I'm also concerned with maintaining a healthy diversity on the board. But I also think that we need to have a competitive edge on the board, and people should want the seats. And if there are less seats, maybe more people will want them, or at least we will have a competition for the seats available.
Yeah.
So.
Trustee Winter?
My concern, just lowering it, is just timing of, meetings. If there's 4, how many do you have to have? You have to have at least 3 show up.
Yeah.
And we've had multiple occasions with the staff of 6 where there's only 3 of us.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of go back to soon to be again, Trustee Lindsay's point, maybe people be a little bit more serious about it. Because when it's just kind of a volunteer board, then I don't feel like going that night. And
right.
You know what I mean? When you compete for it, you may take that position a little bit more serious. And, I understand that, but that's like, heck, let's make it 12. We'll always have 4, or whatever. I'm joking, but anyways, it's something that I think, and I don't think, it's not our decision. It would go to the vote of the people.
Right. And also, if it was reduced, it would be more likely and easier to figure out how to, compensate the trustees, to pay them for their time and their energy and the need to review so much before a meeting and to make these hard decisions and have these hard discussions. So having, 4 and a mayor is way more financially feasible than having 6 and a mayor. Especially with para matches and FICA and all that stuff. Like, I think staff could figure it out if we did reduce the number, or it would be more manageable.
Trustee Woods?
Yeah, I'm totally opposed to reducing the number of trustees.
So, how many are in favor? Well, I guess we can't really have a vote. A straw wink. I don't know.
I'll speak in favor of reducing.
Who else would be in favor?
That would be.
I believe that I now support it. It's not, it goes against my grain, but I think that there should be a competition. One of the reasons I ran against the mayor, well, first of all, I didn't know you were running, but I continued to run is because a democracy needs choices. And if we have less seats, we'll have more choices.
Agreed.
I agree.
Okay, so staff will work.
I would support it, and also, since it doesn't affect anybody that's currently here.
Well, and the other thing is, we're putting this before the people. So it's
Yeah.
not our decision.
Right.
We're just letting them decide. And we're here to represent them. So that's the way this democracy works.
Yep.
So I will, I'll work on drafting an ordinance that proposes that ballot question and that makes that all happen.
Okay.
And then I'll ask also, we'll figure out the odd year thing too, Dave. And then we may go ahead and draft something just so we have it since we're going to run out of time sooner than later.
Right.
And then we'll have that discussion and we'll have a draft ordinance at the next meeting for at least the reduction.
And I think on your, moving it to the, having coinciding elections is something that could be worked out with the county clerk and the town clerk and you as to.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
Have Dan look into it as far as how other people do that, but.
Yeah, we'll ask Karen Goldman, who's like the guru of all things clerking. And even Dan says sometimes you should probably contact Karen and ask her. So we'll do that and then we'll get some things drafted so y'all have it to review. And that way, even if we don't approve that at the next meeting, we'll still have one more chance to do it before we have to submit our notice of a coordinated election.
Cool.
Any other comments on that? Nope. Having none, I'll move on to, review resolution 2026-05 trustee committee appointment. That was in your packet, that was what we decided at the last meeting. And that is an action item. I said it in the past, it was never done that way, but it was brought to our attention that we're supposed to make it official.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is making that official.
I have not been in touch with, I've gotten an email from.
I did send Phil your contact information. He said thank you, but there may probably just not a
Yeah, you're not
meeting
gonna
coming
get
up. They're very, very rare. So. Yeah, I did copy on that email that I sent to him.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, I need more heads up. If they're gonna have one, try to tell me as soon as they're all gonna have one.
Yeah.
Because I need to work it around my schedule.
That is an action item this evening.
Easy.
Our next item is review resolution 2026-06 adopting the June 2026 employee handbook. We discussed that in the past.
Yep.
I did take the time to completely read that. It is very thorough.
Yep.
And any trustees have any questions or comments on that? It's just a matter of making it official.
It's really good.
Yeah, though the two things that had changed from the last time was just one that we clarified on how the floating holidays accrue, which they accrue on the date that it happens. And then also capping, like if you're going to donate sick hours to another employee, you have to maintain a balance of a minimum of 48 hours so that you're not giving it all away and you still have sick time.
Okay.
That was the only changes.
Perfect.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that? Hearing none. Next item, discuss condition of the boardwalk in front of the Masonic Lodge. I went and looked at it. There's also a photo in your book. It's attached, and Trustee Woods has brought it up in the past. Those ended up like that because they weren't built correctly in the first place. When I went and looked at it, I see no problem. If they don't want to build that, of removing that and continuing that same, whatever, crushed brick or whatever, that red
Yeah.
granite walk there in front of that. Trustee Bruce, you made a comment earlier in regards to speaking to the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
And they have no problem with the removal of that.
Well, I mean, I was going to suggest the removal in front of the empty lots north of the Masonic Lodge.
North?
Yeah, or south, I mean, south of the
South,
Masonic
yeah.
Lodge. My bad. And because that's the worst part. That trail mix is not available until August. There's just none available. So that, I mean, if we did, we would have to put dirt or something. We're not going to be able to, because there's going to be a ledge there, like wherever you end up not removing that. So,
Leave it for now.
well, no, I would say for sure the part, because that's dangerous. I mean, for me, in my opinion, we remove all that. That's everything south of that. The in front of, can you go and scroll to the other picture? Oh no, it should be.
I only got one.
Oh, it was supposed to be combined. My bad. So, I mean, we could look at that. We could look at possibly removing the rest of it in front of the Masonic Lodge as well, and just see where, because I need to know exactly where that border, the edge of that property. I don't know if it's on the building. It's a couple of feet. I just don't know where the edge of that property is from the Masonic Lodge.
It's right next. I mean,
It's the wall.
yeah.
Okay, on
Pretty
the
sure.
north side.
That's,
Or
yeah,
south.
Now I'm talking about the north side too. If we're going to remove all of it
Yeah, it's the wall, right?
on north and south.
Yeah.
side.
But when I was down there looking at it, the real load is past the Masonic. It's where it extends out by those lots.
Yeah.
But now I'm having trouble picturing it, how bad it looked right in front of the lodge.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was a picture of that.
It's cupped, but it doesn't rock like
Those ones
the
down there
piece you're
rock too.
looking at.
Yeah.
But right in front of the building, it's cupped and it's not great, but it doesn't rock. The other piece rocks when you walk across it.
And that's a safety hazard.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Trustee Woods?
Well, I think that the town bears the blame for this condition of this. We were misled and then allowed some of the council members voted, the majority of the council members voted to allow the substandard construction.
That was
That I think it should be somehow kept in front of the Mason's Lodge. Because it's a step up, it's a problem, would be an access problem for them.
Yeah. So we'll look to see how much material we have and then at least remove the boardwalk that's south of the Masonic Lodge and see if we can't make a ramp of some kind of something, maybe dirt, I don't know, until we get the trail mix.
Where do you get your trail mix?
That is a big question. He's the one that's telling me they can't get us any till August. I do not know.
We have a trustee that,
Then I will tell Ben to call you and get some trail mix if it's at a reasonable price.
So the problem with why those are cupping is because they were treated, they weren't sealed. And the person who sold them the treated board said they're treated so you don't have to seal them. They're going to be there forever. That if they're not sealed, then that's why they cupped. And you have to seal them on the backside, on the bottom and the top. And so perhaps a bunch of those boards could be flipped over that are on by the Mason's Lodge.
Okay, we'll see.
Sealed.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the peak busy season for Public Works and Parks and Rec. So, I mean, removing it and putting material, that's in the cards in the near term.
Okay.
Doing any other kind of maintenance or messing with the other boards, I would need to wait until fall.
okay, well, and I'm in agreement with what Trustee Lindsay said there is the danger factor that just needs to go. Since we're on this, also there's a letter from Mary Nettleton, talking about some of our other corner blocks. And you do know when they're in front of businesses and the businesses are responsible for that. And I do think, I know that you're all busy, Lex, but because it was addressed in Mary's letter, anything, it would be worth having someone from staff take a look. And if there's anything that's a hazard condition for going into this summer, then we take a look at making them safe.
The property owner there for the boardwalk that is in charge of the boardwalk north of the Cannibal Grill is already in the process and hiring a contractor to replace that boardwalk
Okay.
because they're trying to sell it. So that's already being worked on.
It'll be done by, according to the boardwalk codes with the concrete sleepers.
Yeah, I mean, the guy came, I don't know if it's gonna be the same contractor. One guy came and talked to me and he said all that. And they're gonna use redwood is what they're gonna use. I don't know, because she said she wasn't going with that contractor, she was getting someone else, but I told them they had to contact the building official to get approval for the boardwalk.
And they might run it by the HPC as well.
Well, the HPC, it as long it's gonna look just the same, it's just gonna be red.
Okay,
And they already did talk to HPC, they didn't have a problem with it,
thank you.
because it's not changing the shape or anything, it's just wood.
Okay. Anything else on boardwalks? Right?
No.
Nope. Okay. Review the draft ADU ordinance.
Yeah. So the difference in here is that it also changes each zoning district use by right to include accessory dwelling units. This is the final draft of the ADU ordinance. We do have an action item because we weren't ready with the final draft and because of the 15-day notice period required for zoning changes. I have put an action item in here to reschedule that public hearing for the ADU ordinance to July 1st so that we have enough time to notice it. Perfect.
Okay. And in the meantime, everybody, all the trustees, have you read that?
It looks good.
Minimum and maximum square footage.
300,000.
Okay. So it's not an actual action item this evening. It is an action item to postpone it.
So it's reschedule the public hearing.
All right. Anything else on that? Okay, next we discuss parks and recreation capital project.
Well, so with the playground, we've more than funded it. There's still some other costs that the extra money is going to cover. However, we did budget 36,000 out of the general fund for it, and we had 16,000 out of the conservation trust fund. And then we also have the 15,000 that Dirk can get this year, which we didn't need. So that's a 65 grand, and we still have $1,000 grant that's restricted from San Juan Solstice, I believe, for pickleball courts. I highly doubt, since it's so far in the year, that we'll actually be able to build it this year. But if that's the direction the trustees want to move in, then staff will start getting a design and size and getting cost estimates for it, so that we can start working on that. I doubt it's going to get done this year just because we're almost halfway through the year.
Where would the courts be?
And Memorial Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we would come back with like a picture of Memorial Park, where they'd be located, how big they would be. If we're going to have, a fence around it, we probably need that. We may need the sound dampening coating on it, which we got to see how weatherproof that is.
Yeah.
Because of the noise thing, some communities built them fast, and then it drove all the neighbors nuts, and then they shut them down because there's actually what do you call it? A nervous response to that sound. And it triggers fight or flight people. So we need to make sure we're doing it right. Especially with the cliffs over there, it might echo it. But so we need to do some homework and see how much it's going to cost these days.
It's extreme.
It is.
I think it's worth having staff look into it, come up with a plan, let us know how much money you do have available, but also involve the public in possible GoFundMe type projects.
Yes.
Because numerous pickleball players have mentioned to me that they would be happy to contribute to help get that done.
So it'd be more like making a plan and then having a fundraising thing. because it's probably going to be up to $130,000 per court, you know, so like a proper nice court.
Yes.
So we'll figure out the total cost and then we'll probably come up with a plan. It probably won't even get that done next summer, but at least it's something that we're working forward on.
Okay.
All right.
All right, any other comments on that? Hearing none. Review the RFP for consultant to implement phase one of the Hicksville County Lake City Housing Plan. I read through that. We talked about it in the past, but very, and I think that's just the next step.
Yes.
In getting our housing going. So,
Yeah, and I sent it to Sandy for review last Friday. I just want to make sure she got a chance. She said she reviewed it this weekend or something, I remember. So, as long as she's in agreement, if y'all approve it, I think she will be. It's taken directly out of the IGA and the scope of work. And then it's our purchasing policy is the format.
right.
And so I have it to where the timeline ultimately ends up being where the trustees would approve or contract after we go through the whole selection process at the meeting in August, which by then we should have an executed grant contract from the state to fund it. Okay.
That is an action item
It is.
tonight. Any trustees have any questions or comments in regards to that? Okay. We've gone over that. And finally, our final word, oh my gosh, is to discuss Outpost Outdoor Hospitality LLC tent camping permit application at 111 Lake Street and planning and zoning recommendation to approve the application.
So y'all do have that planning and zoning recommended to be approved. Something that the applicant had mentioned during that meeting was that she had been getting a lot of calls from hikers needing tent camping, which was something that the previous owner had provided. She did send over like a little proposal of where these other 5, can I pass these out, Dave?
Yeah.
Will you just take one and pass them around? If she would go through the process again to add these 5 sites, which the planning and zoning wasn't against it just wasn't the application in front of them.
Right.
Then she would have to wait till the 4th Thursday of the month to have planning and zoning review it, and then it'd be July 1st before the trustees would review it. But the hikers are already coming through, so I thought it would be in the best interest of the town for at least to share what she had shared with me earlier. Dan, I do have a question because I don't know if it's legit. So there was a public hearing for the conditional use permit that no one showed up to or had comments on. And the planning and zoning board approved that, or recommended the approval of that conditional use permit. That particular permit did not have these additional 5 camping sites in it. And so I don't know if it's even a possibility for the trustees to possibly approve that conditional use permit and add additional camping sites that weren't reviewed by planning and zoning.
It depends on the finding of the facts at that hearing, and if you feel like they substantially liked the idea and that had they been presented that they would. Also, the planning commission in that capacity is a recommending body, so you guys can have some leeway. The safest thing to do is kick it back to them, but I think that time is of the essence. You can go ahead and vote how you'd like.
I would just share real quickly, I sit on planning and zoning meeting. The package that was presented is very detailed, is very well done. There was even discussion as should these continue to go in front of planning and zoning, because once the guidelines are in place,
Right.
you know, and I got a letter from even Michelle Pierce, who's on that board, saying, you know, you guys might want to look at, should this come in front of us all the time? But I will also say this, we approved it, it was the first time last time for Mr. Madry, almost said Landry. Madry, and I think this is a great idea. The glamping sites, the owner is really going out of her way. I went over there, I did a drive-by. Actually, it's irrelevant, but I sold that property to Madry, and it has come so far. The new owner is doing things correctly. Those glamping sites she had shared with us that she's holding off until she has permission before spending the rest of the money on those. But as far as these additional ones, planning and zoning board actually said, wow, I wish that was included in here, but if you come back to us, it's no problem, basically. And a part to me, I think this is important, is that we are a host city for the Colorado Trail. And I've always thought it was a little strange, hey, come to our town, but leave before dark, because there's no place for you to get.
Yeah. Or
So-
sleep on the boardwalk.
Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to share that. That was the feelings of planning and zoning. And wanted to hear from Dan whether or not we had permission to go ahead and include that tonight if you guys wanted to. That's all I have to say.
You touched briefly on my question, which is, I thought that the zoning had changed on this block to include tent camping as a use by right.
You know, what happened is that when at first that was being proposed was a zoning change, but the neighbors at that time were against the idea of additional RV parking
That's
spots
right.
there. And so what happened was the definition of lodging was changed to include temporary lodging like tent camping, which would be approved on a conditional use. And the only place where there's temporary lodging mentioned is the T1 Tourist 1 zone, which that's what that is along the river. It's like
Right.
the most random out of the place T1 zone.
Yeah, because that's like a half a
Yeah.
block is zoned different than the other half.
Yeah, and I was gonna have at a future meeting, but talking about trying to rezone that, just
Yeah.
to make life simpler for
I
everybody.
think that would make more sense. Thank you.
Trustee Woods?
Well, I see there's a need for this, and I don't have a problem with expanding it to the other sites if we can, but my main concern is that there's gotta be bear-proof food containers, and there can't be any food or cooking in the tents.
So in the application, she addresses all that. There's a building where they can go cook.
Yep.
And there's,
Read the application.
yeah, in the application, she addresses all that. That's something the planning and zoning board, Henry, reviewed, and that's why they recommended the approval. By adding these additional sites, she's still gonna have the bear-proof trash cans, the bear-proof like food storage. There's another place for them to prepare food. There's not gonna be any fire rings or fires. So really, she checked all the boxes on anything that would be a concern to anyone.
Trustee?
I absolutely love it.
And also another thing too, Madry also had like 9 camping spots. So she's not asking for anything more than the previous app.
Yeah, we've done this before, been through,
Yeah.
it's been great. Everything's great. Seems like under new ownership and even an improvement.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
there we
It's
go.
all- it's all good.
Would you like to speak? I don't know that you need to, but I was trying to share with them what you've already been through and what you explained.
Yeah, I
to us, so.
appreciate that. We've done a lot of cleanup work over the past couple of months, trying to get everything ready, but the biggest concern is safety. And so that's my highest priority, is making sure that there's no food allowed. It's being completely regulated. We do have extra bear-proof trash cans coming in. No food is allowed in that back portion. We have a separate camper where the hikers store their food.
Mhm.
So that's definitely our
Yeah.
top priority.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. No break.
Did I hear it, Dan? But it is okay if we want to go ahead and approve that with the additional sites.
Yeah, I mean, they were all in agreement that they would approve it anyway. It's nothing different than what was approved before with Madry, except for it's gonna be cooler and better. And,
Let's go for it.
yeah, like, I don't see a problem. There was no one that showed up to the public hearing to protest. So, and then also with Madry, we didn't receive one complaint about all the camping happening.
Right.
So it's not a public
I think
nuisance.
it's, yeah.
And the other thing is, I hate to push this off from
Yeah.
another meeting to another meeting because the season is upon us.
Correct.
There are hikers already on the trail. I saw they've had visitors at the hiking center already and all that.
They're turning away.
So- Yeah, so
Oh, no.
when y'all make a motion to approve it, just make it a motion to approve it with the addition of, with the 5 additional, tent camping sites. Yeah, tent camping, there's gonna be regular ones, not glamping. But yeah.
I'm assuming there's no other questions or comments on that item. That being said, then I would like to end our regular workshop for this evening. Thank you for all your patience. I know it's a long one, but we got a lot accomplished and we will bang through our regular meeting. But I would like to take a 10-minute break, please. We will resume at 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is 8 o'clock PM on Wednesday, June the 3rd, 2026. And I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Town of Lake City Board of Trustees. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ethan, will you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Bruce. Here. Lindsay. Here. Here I am.
Not yet.
Vivisana. Here. Winery. Here. Wood.
Almost here.
Weast. Roberts.
Here. Okay, our first item is swearing in of Jody Lindsay as town trustee.
No.
What do you mean?
No, she said, do I still call on them if they're not here? And I said, no. You just call them those. And just wherever you.
Look up there.
Thanks. Thanks. Hey, is it gonna hurt this time?
Maybe.
I'm not allowed to use backwards. Please repeat after me. I, Jody Lindsay,
I, Jody Lindsay,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado
and of the state of Colorado
and the town of Lake City,
and the town of Lake City,
codes and ordinances,
codes and ordinances,
and faithfully perform the duties of the office of town trustee.
and faithfully perform the duties of the role of office of trustee,
Town trustee.
town trustee.
I could have broken that up.
No,
Upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Okay,
They really need to put columns in the phrasing.
let the delegate.
What is that sign? ACDC?
Henry, you missed it. You missed it.
What?
Me getting sworn at.
Oh, my God.
Nobody took my picture or anything.
I did. I think I took a bunch of them.
Well,
Yeah, I was just complaining.
I went home and tried to read these.
Uh,
Have Jody sign
Oh,
this.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
See if they work.
for the record, at 8:04 PM, trustee Woods entered the chamber.
Well, there.
Okay. Next item is approval of agenda for regular meeting June 3rd, 2026. Are there any additions or revisions?
Is this where we would make revisions to the action items or no?
yes, I mean, you can make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
So action item D is going to be changed to,
You gotta make a motion.
Well, no, the D, when we get there, you're just gonna make a motion to postpone it.
so we don't have to change that
No, you
here.
just make a motion to postpone it to
Okay.
the next meeting.
But for I, we have to make an addition.
That one, when you know, just when you make the motion to approve it, you approve it with the addition of 5, or approve it with the addition of 5 additional tent camping spots. And I'll know what to write the permit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the regular meeting of June 3rd, 2026.
Second.
Motion second, roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Ursulano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Lease, Roberts.
Yes. Okay, next is the minutes from, May 20th. In your packet, everybody get a chance to review those.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of 5-20-26.
Second.
Motion the second. Roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Abstain?
Ursulano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Okay, bills payable, 6/3/2026. Ouch.
I would like to make a motion. To approve the bills payable on June 3rd, 2026 in the amount of $192,282.38.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion? I would just like to, my only point of discussion is it's larger than normal, and that's because of paying off the installation of the playground equipment. And if everybody's aware, there was last minute donations, and with those donations, it covered the entire cost of the project. Hooray, hooray.
Thank you.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you, Dirk.
Huge thank you to Dirk
Yes.
and all those kind individuals that made donations for that. And it's beautiful. If you haven't gone by there, but the kids are loving it. And every time I go by, there's a bunch out there, and I think it's great.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Trustee Woods?
Well, I again want to point out that, number 26 for magnesium chloride. If we spent $20,000 on it, and every dollar spent on magnesium chloride does $21 worth of damage.
I want to see your research on that.
Okay, it's from the State Forest Service.
Great, forward that to me,
I
please.
submitted it. Or here
To all of us.
Yeah.
Got it. So.
Thank you.
So we're paying for doing a lot of damage to our town.
Okay, any other discussion?
Thank you.
The key to that is it's already down and we have a bill. Okay, we have motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Ursulano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next is citizens' comments on matters not on the agenda. We don't have any citizens with us in here this evening.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Well,
Well, yeah.
Well, I thought you were here as an employee. Do you have any citizens' comments? You already live here.
I don't live.
Well, you do. You put enough
Feels
time.
like I do.
Yeah.
You're an honorary citizen. Do you have any comments you'd like to make?
No, thank you.
Okay. Now we'll move to Zoom land. We have any citizens up there that have any comments on anything not on the agenda? Unmute yourself or raise your hand, please. Seeing none, we will move on. Next is employee reports. First one, town engineer report. Go ahead, thank you. Got the report in the packet. Thank you for the visual. That makes it a lot easier to understand once again.
Okay.
And I'll just add that I've been doing my weekly drive-bys and there's progress happening over
There is some progress. Got a lot of the process piping in. I think we'll see Monday, many people that have their there. And they get to start hauling more film. Without a doubt, yeah.
How many additional yards of building?
Yes, somewhere on the order of
1,000 yards.
3 trucks? Right, 30, 40, 50 trucks.
What?
20 yards a truck, or less.
16 to 20 in the super dumps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's
But
that?
they were talking today about hauling in material. We'll also need, that includes the liner bedding, so it's a different material, but
Totally.
they're gonna haul out this, try to pull off the sludge that's dry and haul it out and all fill in.
When that feels like for the bottom of one of those ponds where the sludge is being pulled out.
Yeah,
Where's their fill come? Do they have a source of fill yet? Or?
your uncle.
Perfect. That's what I thought.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions? Or-
No, we're glad to see progress. I know you're working hard. Nothing for move.
Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work, Joy.
You're welcome.
Next report, building official report, Mr. McNeese's report is in your packet. Looks like it's very busy now. And as he even stated in there, just drive around town. The county and there's building going on everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The other thing is before we mentioned that we are back to our, farmers market, opened up today. I drove by, I didn't have any money, so I didn't stop. Any questions or comments on Mr. McNeese's report?
Nope.
There none. Next, Parks and Recreation report. Mr. Hicks reports in your packet.
Nothing on there. It's pretty brilliant.
I just say their support work on that playground is beautiful. They did a great job. The non-public works report.
You guys have my report. Do you have any questions?
Nope. I think everything on that we've discussed. Water leaks. And I mentioned it before, you guys did a great job when we had our issue. And handled it well. And the whole community came together and I think it was great. Any trustees have any questions for Mr. Weeks?
Yeah.
Looks like we have some work to do.
Well, we appreciate your hard work. I always see you guys out there
Awesome. Thank you.
getting her done. So thank you very much.
Get her done. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
next town clerk treasury report, Ms. Bowden. That's in your packet. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Anybody have any comments or questions? Nope. Nick, hearing none, nice move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a great job with her report. I appreciate that. And, I saw a report from our deputy clerk. It's Nicolio.
Get that report.
I think it's great. I've been in there when people come in and you do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
People.
Thank you.
Very,
Awesome.
very professional on the phone, and we're blessed to have you. Any trustees have any questions?
No, great job. Great report.
And we have a great office dog too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hear about it from my personal assistant that has to sit in the truck every time I go in there. We're gonna introduce those two before it's all.
I think they'd
They
be,
met
they'd be,
today.
oh, they did, they'd be fine.
They were good.
Holy report out.
Okay, next is town manager report.
Yep, just want to remind everybody, the next meeting will start at 5. Sarsa will be here doing a board of trustees meeting or training. that got rescheduled from the mid-May meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll happen on June 17th.
With dinner.
What?
We have a rule, if it
If it's,
starts at
yeah.
5, we get fed.
I mean, like, what if it goes till 8:30?
Yeah, right.
Dessert.
Yeah.
Beer.
I'll see, because with the money that we're gonna be spending on August 1st is gonna come out of the BOT training budget that we've saved from the CML conference. So I mean, things are tight, but I mean, we'll try to figure something out.
Wait a minute, we have $16,000
How about a
for the
cheesecake?
playground.
What? No.
You know, the dinner.
Yeah.
Well,
So
why
let's
don't-
see.
can make a cheap dinner.
Maybe we should make our own.
Well, yeah, we'll discuss
Something
that.
complicating.
Yeah.
I can't cook it anybody.
If I-
It's smoke something, smoke a brisket.
If I have the allowance, I'll pick up a couple pizzas from the.
So besides that, one thing I want to add about the community junk cleanup weekends, we have about 5 or 6 volunteers. I think 5 are going to be able to make it. And we're going to open, and I started messaging this today, where the public is free to come from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Volunteers are going to be there from like 8:30 to 4. We've only got 4 assistance applications where people need assistance removing the junk from the property. One of them has a whole lot of stuff. But besides that, I think we can get through that all on Saturday. And I have a feeling we're going to fill that thing on Saturday.
If you need to side note, help like with equipment, like something that's heavy,
Mhm.
and just give me a call and I can pick it up with my skid steer and forks if it's heavy.
Okay. Yeah, I know we're going to be using the backhoe because there's definitely some things that, like some snowmobiles and stuff
So
like
we only
that.
have one 30-yard thing.
We only have one 30-yard. I didn't know what it was going to turn out to be. So,
But
but
they fill up fast.
that I think, well, and then some of them, if I don't know, like we're going to try to crush some things too to try to make more fit. So we're going to set up sections in the lots where people can get dump appliances, scrap metal, etc. And that way we can see what we can maybe crush and make smaller.
And where is this at? Where's it?
The lot's next to the medical center.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Is there somebody that can help, like, pick something up from a house?
That's what the assistance application is for.
I didn't know that,
What do you need help with?
like, the big grill I need to throw away.
Yeah, so just
It's
anybody that
okay.
needs assistance at this point, I just want to open it up to anybody that if you have something too big to move, we can come help you move it while we have volunteers. So we'll see if it works out. If it works out where that ends up filling up Saturday and people keep bringing stuff on Sunday, we may stage stuff there so we can say, okay, we need at least 1 or 2 more roll-offs.
Right.
And then we'll just have Reclam Metals come bring another one, like the following weekend or something to fill up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy.
I didn't want to overcommit us, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be way more junk than anticipated. Probably garages full of it. So we'll see how it turns out. But that was really the only other thing I wanted to add. I did have a little breakdown of the short-term rentals. We're in 100% compliance with whoever's out there advertising rentals. We have a couple pending, but besides that, we're good to go.
Then how many are still available?
I should have put that number 2. I think it's at 6 or 7. We lost a few, and now we're gaining a couple more. It's been floating around there about around 36 or so.
Yeah.
So that are in residential zones. So there's probably about 6 or 7 of them. I didn't do that count. I didn't think about that.
That's good though.
Yeah.
No, thank you. It sounds like you guys are doing a good job staying on top of that.
Yeah, and we sent out about 32 code enforcement letters. Only a few people have called, so maybe they haven't got their letter yet. But so far the response is good. Even some of the people who thought it would be difficult were just like, I know I need to do it. I just need more time. Please extend it. So I think everybody just knew it was time to start cleaning stuff up.
Just for clarification, that wastewater treatment plant generator, you did a grant report in here, and I know you got a grant. So that 35,000 or whatever, 36,000. That's a part.
That's the only part that we paid so far. That's with the purchase order agreement. Then when it's shipping, and then once we receive it and installed, we pay off the rest. So there'll be installments of that. with this grant, we only get a reimbursement every 6 months.
Okay.
So, but if we already done, it's completed, I can send it in early and say, we're done, please reimburse us the rest of our money. So
But I remember the grant was good enough to cover the project.
250 grand, yep.
Okay. Any trustees have any questions for Lex?
Thank you.
On the report?
Yep.
Thank you, Lex. Okay, next legal update.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't as tonight. Sounds like I got some negotiation to do and some work with Lex, but happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Dan.
Hearing none. Next, mayor trustee report. Any trustee?
I need to, let Lex know that I need to cancel my CML attendance.
Okay. Oops, thank you for bringing that down.
It's the 28th of June. You want to go?
No. Oh,
Jody, do you want to go?
I don't know what my calendar looks like.
well,
Check my brain.
will you let me know,
Just a refund.
yeah, I need to know as soon as possible. They tried to confirm the number of rooms today. And so, let me know, please, as soon as possible. Because I can have them change the name on the reservation and on the registration. I just need to know sooner than later, so that we don't incur, like, we may not be able to get a refund on Diane. Is it 30 days? It's less than 30 days now.
I mean, right now, I don't see any issues.
Who all's going?
You going?
She's going, you're going, Dave's going, Nathan's going, and now
Maybe Jody.
maybe Jody. She's gonna let me know by tomorrow.
That would be perfect.
All
And
right.
I apologize.
Okay. All right.
How much does it cost?
Um,
You can cancel the room, but
I just gotta look at it. I don't remember because because we had so many going, we got 50% off the registration for the 2 after the first 3. So, yeah, I don't know.
Big contingency.
Yeah. So, anyways,
One of our employees would want to go.
I was planning. Our travel and training budget is about to be maxed out with their training because they're going to go both to the clerks thing. I still got to do my CPM class, my last one, and I've already gone to my other conference and this one. So we're going to max out at our 10 grand. The next year, I was thinking about taking one of them with us to the CML, but they're also going to be doing. When I'm not doing anything extra that would cost money, we'd have money to send one of them maybe.
Right. I guess the point would be if trustee Lindsay can't go, instead of losing out on it, you could put an employee in there if they wanted to attend it.
Yeah, our budget would, okay.
It wouldn't come out of that budget. It would come out of the.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I can try and make it work. I just need to look at my other account.
Okay.
Okay. And that will be 50 lashings with a wet noodle for trustee Bruce.
Mayor, I apologize. My computer froze up, so I didn't know if you guys could hear me or not. But I didn't have anything. But if you did have questions, I'd have an answer.
no, we're good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Just, you can stick around, make sure we do have some of the changes on our action items. Okay, next is correspondence received. I'd already brought up that letter from Mary Nettleton.
I just forwarded it to everybody because it was already past the time to put it on.
You received an email. Okay, we have no additions to the agenda. And so now it's time to get to our action items. First one, discussion of possible action to approve Hinsdale County Search and Rescue request to reserve parking on September 16th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Colorado Grand Annual Plastic Car Charity Tour on Silver Street from 2nd to 3rd Street and on 3rd Street, Denison Avenue to Bluff Street.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think the only discussion I really had on that one is we do have to remember public health. Their is a gathering. No, their parking spaces are noted. It's just for them, and I don't know if that's going to cause an issue. Because you say from Bluff to there, And they have signs in front of their building that say it's for their. parking.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say that any parking spot that doesn't have a sign that says reserved for public entity or something. I don't know.
Okay, just thought I'd mention that when I drove by it. Any other discussion?
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Tripasono,
Yes.
Winter,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion of possible action to amend Alpine Loop Outpost conditional use permit at 131 North Gunnison Avenue requiring a 6-foot fence to screen OHV rental equipment.
So moved.
Well, no.
No,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
Just kidding.
so
Retract my statement.
Dan, they don't want to, they're gonna have us review that regulation. Do they just not make a motion or what do they do because they don't want to approve it?
Continue it to the next meeting.
Well, I mean, they don't want to ever approve it. They want to just not make, they don't want to approve the fence thing. They want to change the zoning regulation requiring it.
Can I move to table?
no.
Well,
What we want to do is to move, not move. We want to not take, item dies for lack of a motion.
Yeah. And then if you want to make a motion for anything, it would be to direct staff to review the regulation. But
okay, so there's no motion.
There's no motion. It dies for lack of a motion.
Yep.
Boom. So just a no.
I got it. Totally agree with that.
With the direction for you to look into.
Well, I mean, I'm already gonna do that just for our workshop discussion and we'll have a whole nother discussion item on it.
Okay,
Motion, no motion, yeah, I want to do that's it.
okay, thank you for the direction.
Motion, or. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Next item, discussion of possible action to approve on second reading of ordinance 2026-05, adopting by reference the 2025 Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code. We already went through this last time, but apparently we had to have a second reading.
So moved.
Thank you.
You got a second?
You got a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's in a second. Any discussion?
As much as I'm not in favor of it. So
Trustee Woods?
So explain to me why we have to do this again?
it's a mandate.
It's a mandate from the state government. All
He can't hear you when he can't see your lips.
the state government's requiring it of us. They're requiring it of every county and municipality.
We have to do it for funding and grants.
If we don't do it, we don't get grants.
That's
the bottom line.
Yes, Henry, this is the one I've been very frustrated with because I do not like mandates that we have to follow. I find it silly that we have to agree to it, to do it, whether we agree or not.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Any other discussion?
No.
Roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
yes.
Tripasono,
Yes.
Winter,
No.
Woods,
Yes.
and Roberts.
Just have my personal beliefs, no. But it passes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, discussion possible action to approve ordinance 2026-06 8th Street lease agreement.
Motion to postpone.
I make a motion to postpone.
I second.
This item to the June 17th meeting of the BOTT.
I second.
There's a motion and a second to postpone.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Tripasono,
Yes.
Winter,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion of possible action to reschedule a public hearing for proposed ADU ordinance to July 1st, 2026 at 7 PM or as close thereafter as
So
possible.
moved.
Second.
Okay, we've discussed this pretty thoroughly. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Trevisano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion of possible action to approve resolution 2026-05, trustee committee appointment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Trevisano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next, discussion of possible action to approve resolution 2026-06, adopting the 2026 employee handbook.
The so moved.
Second.
Motion is second. I don't think there's any discussion. Roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Trevisano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion and possible action to approve the RFP for consultant to implement phase 1 of the Hinsdale County Lake City Comprehensive Housing Plan.
So moved. I'm very excited about this.
A second.
It's a miracle.
He's awake.
That was cute.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Trevisano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods, Roberts.
Yes,
See,
I'm very excited about it too.
right?
Discussion of possible action to approve Outpost Outdoor Hospitality LLC tent camping permit application at 111 Lake Street with
Addition of 5 tent camping sites.
So moved.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
I make a motion to approve the Outpost Outdoor Hospitality LLC change an application at 11 Lake Street with 5 additional camping sites.
Second.
Or tent camping.
Second.
Is that good?
Yeah, we'll work it out on the lane.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Trevisano,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
No.
Roberts.
Yes. And with no more items before the board, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Wow.
Don't get shorter from here.